Hi, I'm Celeste Gonzalez and I'm a Microsoft Clarity Ambassador. Today I'll be showing you how to use the MCP or Model Context Protocol server. So this is where you can use something like Cursor to connect to Microsoft Clarity and be able to pull your data and insights in a much more efficient and faster way than manually doing it on the dashboard. So let's get into that. First, what you're going to need is access to a Microsoft Clarity account. What you need is specific permissions, ownership, or the person who has ownership of that Microsoft Clarity account can give you permissions so you're able to create an API token. So what you're going to do is you go to the account that you want to create the MCP server for. So this is just my company's website. So this is Rickety Roo website. We went to settings and data export. And what you're going to do is generate a new API token. And you definitely want to make sure that you have access to this no matter what, because you might not be able to view it again. So we'll click generate new API token. We'll just call this example. Click add. You're going to get your token value, make sure you copy it and put it in a safe place where you'll be able to have access to it and make sure it's secure and you don't share that token just with anyone. So after this video I'm going to delete this token, but we're doing this for a full walkthrough example. So now that you've gone to your account and you've generated your new API token, what we will be using today is Cursor to connect your MCP server and be able to pull your insights. I feel like that is probably the easiest way to go about it. If you don't have, coding experience, it's really user-friendly. And I do not have a code background, and this has been very helpful for me in setting up MCP servers for my different clients and being able to pull in data and do monthly reporting for them. Currently, there are not any sort of limitations on the data that you're pulling, but that can always be subject to change. So please keep up with the Microsoft Clarity documentation to check on the API calls and limits just to see anytime that's updated. So now that we have our token, we're ready to get started with Cursor. With Cursor, you're going to open a project, and that's always going to start in a folder. So I added a folder called example on my desktop. It's completely empty. I'm going to click open. And this is what it looks like when you're getting started, which can be intimidating, but it works very similarly to like ChatGPT and Claude, Copilot, where you are able to enter in commands and it will code for you. So very vibe coder friendly, or just beginner friendly in general. So what we need to set up the MCP server is we need to add some code into the settings. So this is the code that you will add when you're setting up your server. We're going to copy and paste this into Cursor settings. So we'll click on the settings, and then tools and MCP. We'll click on that and add custom MCP. So this is how we are connecting to Clarity so that way we're able to pull our data. Okay, we're gonna delete this, paste it, and now here you see it says your project name, your API token. You're going to want to fill these in based on whatever you want to label the project name and then whatever API token you generated in Clarity. So we'll just use my company's name, so this is Clarity-Rickety Roo, and then we will do my API token. So we'll come back here, copy that token, and go ahead and paste it. Cool. So then you're going to want to save it. I'm on Mac, so it's Command S. Other systems, I believe it's Control S. So we're saving that there. And there we go. It says Clarity-Rickety Roo. It is enabled. It is turned on. You want to make sure that this is enabled and you want to make sure that it's turned on. If you are going to do this for multiple websites, you're going to set up multiple MCP servers. If you try to do it all in one, you can run into issues where you're prompting Cursor and asking it to pull data from the last 7 days and it ends up pulling it for whatever the first website was that you created the MCP server for. It might not pull from the specific website that you're looking for. So it's best to just set up new servers for different connections there and make sure that you're referencing that API and specific server, whatever name you're calling it, clarity-rickety-roo, clarity-website name, in your prompts, so that way Cursor has the most information possible. Now we see that the tools are enabled and that it's connected, so let's just test it out. Let's see, let's pull the top 5 pages in the last 7 days. So this will just test to make sure that it works. In Cursor, it's always going to just prompt and ask if you want to run these things, just to verify that it is what you want it to do. So we'll go ahead and run it. Okay, there we go. So the top 5 pages by session count in the last 7 days, home page, and then these other ones, and then lets us know the sessions. And then it gives us a little summary. Homepage had the most traffic, followed by the local SEO page and 3 blog posts. And then I can go back into the dashboard and verify that this is correct, but it worked. You can also add in your prompts, like that if you want it to let you know if there's an error with how it's pulling the data, you can actually ask Cursor to do that and it will return an error status if you need to. I find that the best way to talk to Cursor is to talk to another LLM and get it to help you create the most accurate prompt for what you're trying to achieve. Because LLM's going to understand how to ask itself, the right questions and word it in the right way to get the correct output that you're looking for. So you can go ahead and actually use Copilot, use Claude, whatever it is that you use in your spare time to generate a prompt for this. So we can let's go to Copilot and say we're trying to do a monthly report. So I am trying to, one second. Okay, I'm trying to create a monthly report on insights from Microsoft Clarity data. I want to see data from this month in comparison to the previous month. And then we can list out the metrics that we want to look at and any sort of visualizations or charts that we're looking for, and it'll help us generate that. So I want to see data from this month in comparison to the previous month. And let's say data, let's do pages per session, sessions, dead clicks, rage clicks, and scroll depth from this month in comparison to the previous month. I want the overall data for those metrics and for the top 5 pages in each month as well. I also want visualizations for this data where appropriate. Oops. Please give me the best prompt to generate this in Cursor. So we can put in something like that. And there we go. We want a Cursor prompt that will generate a monthly report comparing the clarity metrics across 2 months. So here we go. It will format in a way that is best for Cursor. So it'll give it the task, the requirements, and the output. One thing to note that I've learned in doing this is that sometimes in the requirements, when you get to do this, just how it had us run that extra step here, it can sometimes take a little bit longer because it needs to install certain libraries to run. So it asks you for permission to install this library. Can I install this library? And by library, I mean it's just the specific tools that it needs to be able to generate those visualizations that you might be looking for. So we might want to edit this prompt again and be like, oh, add in the requirements whatever libraries Cursor needs to download to create the visualizations. So actually, if we go here, I have like a monthly report prompt, just a basic one here that we can use. And we'll be sharing this prompt with you as well to see. So like right here, technical requirements: use Python with matplotlib for chart generation, report lab for PDF creation. So that way it's already installing it, so it's less things that you have to click to run. And then this is the way you want the output. So within your folder, that example folder that we're using, it will create a subfolder that will then save the PDF that we're trying to create. All right, and then it has analysis guidelines as well. And boom, that is what we want to use. So now we'll go here and we can paste it. So part of this prompt though, as you can see, I need to input what the current month is that we're looking for. So we are looking for, it's November right now. We don't have the full data for November, so we're going to look for the October 2025 data. And then the previous month, we're going to type that in as well. So we want it to be September. Date rate from start date to end date for each month. Cool, we could leave that. And then here it says API token. So we're going to need that API again. So this is why you need to save it in a safe space. We're going to paste that here. And then let me just keep scrolling, make sure we're all good. Yeah, doesn't seem like we have to add anything else. It should work. There we go. And this is example usage. So this is just an example of it, but we'll just input the API token again there. And we will send out that prompt and then see how it's generated. So let me just go like this. We can close the settings and it will start to run, install the library. So it has to do this step first and it's asking me to run it. So we're going to run it. Cool, success. Now it's working on the rest of it. We might get asked to run more scripts as this keeps going. And then basically I'll show you what the output is. But basically the world is your oyster. Once you have it set up, you can start pulling in the data month over month. If you want to do 3 months in comparison to the previous 3 months, you can make it work for you and what your reporting needs to look like, or pull in the insights that you need to be able to analyze trends and make determinations based on that data on how you might want to change things on the website as well. So if you want to pull in the last 6 months of data, you can go ahead and do that and have it already generate the visualizations for you to make it easier to share with clients, stakeholders, and team members. So this is just going to keep generating the report script for us. So I'm just going to pause right here and I'll come right back once it's generated. Okay, so that just took like 2 more minutes. I had to press run twice, but boom, it lets us know generated files. So this is what it did. It told us the name of it. So Clarity Report October 2025. And now if we go to that example folder, we should be able to pull that up now. There we go. And here, report output. And we can see all the visualizations and the actual report. So this actually showed up as an MD. So let me just double check here. All right, the PDF is right here and the rest are PNGs, so we can just use them at our disposal. Let's open the PDF. And here is what it looks like based on that prompt that we sent in. So this lets us know October versus December. Our scroll depth increased by 4%, our time on page increased by 10.3%, dead clicks by 17%, quickbacks by 2.6%, and our total sessions, we were down 1 from the previous month. And then it gives us literally the pages per session month comparison, dead clicks month comparison, all of that. And in the prompt, you can change up the colors, you can make suggestions for the way you want these visualizations to go. Maybe you don't want it to be a bar graph and you want it to be something else. You can definitely direct it that way as well in your prompt. And then here we got charts on the top 5 pages for current months. This is for October. This is for September. We have our sessions, our scroll depth, our time, dead clicks, quickbacks, rage clicks, and excessive scroll. And boom. So as we see, this is kind of messed up on this report. So we can just fine tune and tweak it to get it to look better in the next one for our top pages comparison. And we can see, what changed. And then we have a little dead clicks analysis section. Here, this page has 38.5% dead clicks. So 5 sessions. The likely issues, non-clickable elements, broken links, or unresponsive buttons. We should review the page elements, test all interactive components, and fix broken links. So, this was just from a prompt. Obviously, we will go in, and now I know to look at this page and look at the session recordings and go through the page on my own and verify that all interactive components are working and that all links are working as well. And then you can see it gave next steps and recommendations here, and you can, use these, not use these, delete them from the report, whatever it is that you need to do. But basically, now that you have it set up, you can customize it to report on the metrics that matter the most to you, your client, your stakeholders, and use it to figure out what the next steps are for the website and how you can improve and, make the website easier to use for users. So yeah, that's how you do the Microsoft Clarity MCP setup using Cursor. I hope this was helpful.